What if I told you the best running back to ever play college football is playing right now? The utter domination in which this running back from Naples, Italy has shown throughout his time at Boise State is nothing but spectacular. Cruising for over 4,000 yards and more touchdowns than I can count, this is the story about how the best running back to ever grace college football, Ashton Jeanty, got to where he is today. Jeanty's talents were first spotted by Naples high school football coach Jim Davis when he was just in 7th grade. Not on the football field though, that's because tackle football wasn't an option for middle schoolers. It was in the middle of a basketball court. Davis says that he saw Jeanty going up for a layup, but Davis thought he was going to dunk. Now dunking in 7th grade is not an easy feat, but when you're a whopping 5'4", it was something that Davis had never seen before. Now, Coach Davis did have to wait 2 years to unleash that power to his team when Jeanty was a high school freshman in 2018, and it wasn't until Coach moved Jeanty from quarterback to running back 2 games into the season that he really began to take off. In the remaining 4 games of Naples' season, Jeanty ran for 1,200 yards on fewer than 100 carries, also scored 17 touchdowns. Now, Jeanty was an emerging celebrity in Italy, but just as you would think, American football is not the main sport for high schoolers in Europe. The 1 year of football that Jeanty played in Italy was unlike anything most American high school athletes have ever experienced. Naples' closest competition is 9 hours away, at a similar base in Vicenza in northern Italy. During Jeanty's 1 season he spent with the team, they also played games in Germany, Belgium, and Spain. The game in Germany required an 18-hour bus ride. Current Naples quarterback Camden Kasparak was a ball boy when Jeanty played on the team. On those long bus trips, you do a lot of team bonding, a lot of cool opportunities, and a lot of fun trips with the team, Kasparak said, adding that Jeanty still keeps in touch with them via social media and follows the school's results. But with Coach Davis realizing that Jeanty had a real gift, he encouraged him to go back to the United States for his final 3 years of high school. And that's exactly what Jeanty decided to do. By enrolling at Lone Star High School in Frisco, Texas, he was an outstanding athlete in his 3 years that he spent with the team. In his senior year, he would rush for an amazing 229 carries for just under 2,000 yards. He would go on to be the 27th ranked running back in the entire country and would commit to Boise State University. And absolutely nobody could have anticipated what was going to happen next. Immediately as Jeanty stepped on campus, he was making a huge impact for the Broncos. Not only was he their starting running back as a true freshman, but he was outstanding, rushing for more than 821 yards and 7 touchdowns as just a freshman. He was truly making a huge impact in Boise. He was the centerpiece of an incredibly high-powered offense, but nobody could have anticipated what was about to happen in the next 2 seasons. In his sophomore season, he would have one of the best seasons of any running back in the entire country, yet nobody knew who he was. Jeanty would go on to lead the Boise State team to an 8-6 record, even making it to one of the biggest bowl games in the country, unfortunately losing to UCLA. But this offseason would be a make-or-break year for Jeanty and this Broncos team. Going into his junior year, the buzz around Jeanty was starting to unfold, and people were starting to finally notice the 5'9" running back from Naples, Italy. But no one would truly understand how good he was until week 1 of his junior year against Georgia Southern. Now before this game, everyone thought Boise State was going to win, but what Jeanty did was nothing short of magical, rushing for 267 yards and 6 touchdowns to lead this Broncos team to victory. Jeanty would shatter the single game rushing touchdown record by a running back, and everybody in the country would finally start to recognize the true dominance they were seeing in Boise, Idaho. Now let's be honest, everybody thought this game was a fluke, saying that in week 2 against the now #1 team in the country, Oregon Ducks, this would be the first true test of Jeanty's career, and we would finally get to see if he was really that good. And ladies and gentlemen, we witnessed a star being born right in front of our eyes. Now, unfortunately, the Broncos would not come out of this game victorious, with the Ducks getting a last-second field goal to win the game, but with Jeanty running for a whopping 192 yards and 3 touchdowns, the Heisman hopefuls were already starting to grow. And these first 2 games were not a fluke. He would go on to score 4 touchdowns against a great Washington State team just 2 weeks later, and 3 more against Utah State just 1 week after that. And Jeanty would finish the regular season leading the nation in all stats possible for a running back. He would finish the year with 344 carries and just under 2,500 rushing yards. And let's not forget about the whopping 29 touchdowns that he scored. Now this year was nothing short of spectacular. It was one of the best years by a running back we have ever seen, and it would surely make him the front runner for the Heisman Trophy, or so we thought. But there was one guy at the University of Colorado that had other plans for that award. And unfortunately, in the closest Heisman race we would have ever had, Jeanty would come right behind Travis Hunter. And I've only got one thing to say about that. Snaps are not a stat. But with him not winning the Heisman, he would still win a bunch of huge awards this season and would lead this Boise State Broncos team to a first-round bye in this year's college football playoffs. And with a few years of eligibility left, who knows what Jeanty's going to do? He could enter his name into the NFL draft, where he would be a surefire first-round draft pick, or he could stay in Boise for another year and give that Heisman Award one more shot. But either way, he has made history this season, having one of the best years a running back has ever had. And if you made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, and I will catch you all in the next one.